Hi there, Monique here with Little Gems Creations 1. Today we're going to learn how to make spiral head pins. You're going to need nylon pliers, round nose pliers, flush cutters, a measuring unit of some sort, and an anvil. And of course your wire. I really like using aluminum wire. I get it from the hardware store. It's 8mm aluminum welding wire. And I love working it because it's nice and light and it's easy to work with. So let's get started. I work off the spool for this. No, actually I don't. I cut lengths for this. So for this we're going to make 5 of these. So we're going to cut 5 4-inch lengths of wire. Okay, so let's cut those. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so we can put the wire to the side. Now what we do is we take, I like to have my ends be flat. So if I find that one is pointy, I just snip it off. So we're going to take it in our round nose pliers and we're going to put it at the very end of the pliers and we're going to do a turn. Now I'm going to take that turn and I'm just going to give it a little squeeze to make it tight. Okay. Then, oh, I guess we're going to need our flat nose pliers as well. Flat nose pliers. So, where were we? We take this and very gently but firmly we get our spiral going. Then we take our nylon grips and we keep turning it until we get the amount of spiral we want. So that's a good for me. So then I put it to where I want it and then I just hold it firmly and give it a bend. A 90-degree bend. So see? Then I want to start hardening my head pin. So I take my hammer. Now one side is metal and one side is nylon. We want to use the nylon side and just start hardening this wire so that our spiral does not come undone or bend out of shape very easily. And you just give it a good harden, straighten out your wire. Now you can make your spirals as long or as wide as you want. And when you're hardening, make sure you harden both sides. You always want to do both. And there you go. You have your first spiral head pin. Now, the use of the hammer is not to flatten it. It is simply to harden it. So there we go. We make our first little curve. We give it a little pinch to make it tighter. The reason I use my flat nose pliers is because my nylon pliers won't take a good grasp until after it's started a bit. That's why I do that the way I do it. So this one, it looks like I went to about there. It's about the same size. And then I simply take it and just bend it 90 degrees. I want to straighten my wire. This also helps harden it. Oh, it's not quite how I want it. I'll just tighten that up a little bit. There we go. Okay, and then you put it on your anvil. Using your nylon side, you want to just start hardening that. And what you do one side, you got to do to the other. And you want to do the length of it as well. Now I use these cute little head pins in earrings. I use them to make little charms or sections in a bracelet. You can use them for all kinds of things. So, just going over this another time. I take my end and I make sure it's nice and flat. I put it at the very tip and I give it a turn. Then I take my turn and I give it a little pinch to make it just a little bit tighter. Sorry, this is being difficult. There we go, just to make it a little bit tighter. Then I use my flat nose and I give that a couple more turns. Then I use my nylon pliers. I give it a few more turns, and when it's the right size, I just give it a little bend backwards. And they're not all going to be exactly alike, and that's part of the charming side of them being handmade. They're not going to be identical. Each one is unique. And then we give it a little harden. And what you do to one side, you got to do to the other. And we do it the whole length of the pin. Now I make mine long because I'd rather have excess. I'd rather have too much than too little. And there we go. We've got 3 made. We're going to make 5 in this video so that you can be absolutely sure you know how. So grab it at the very tip. Turn it. Take your pliers. Give it just a little pinch to make it that much tighter. Take your flat nose and firmly but gently, because if you grasp it too hard, it'll leave marks. Then you switch to your nylon and you do the rest. And the reason I switch to the nylon is because it doesn't leave the marks, because as you go bigger you have to grasp it harder. Okay, and then we put our little bend back. And by all means, manipulate this until you've got the shape you want. So then we firm it up. And what you do to one side, you have to do to the other. And then we want to do it the whole length of the head pin. There we go. Now the final one. We take the very tip, bend it around, Give it a little squeeze with your pliers just to snug it in that much more. Okay, grab it with your flat nose. And I'm bending this with my finger more than moving the pliers. I'm moving the wire around. Then I switch to my nylon and grab it firmly. Put it to where we want it to be, and then go back. Okay, and if you want to snug it up a bit, snug it up. Then we take our hammer, nylon side, we harden that up. And what you do to one side, you do to the other. And then we go to the rest of the... I've got quite a curve in this one, so I'm just gonna... And also just putting it through your fingers will help harden it up as well. And we're not doing this to flatten it, we're just doing this to harden it. And there we have. We have our 5 spiral head pins. There we have it. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and share. And thanks for watching. Have a good day.